Hey, do you have a penny that's just been sitting in your drawer, untouched, forgotten for years? What if I told you that little coin could be worth up to $2 million? Sounds crazy, right? Well, buckle up because today we're talking about the 1968 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny, a coin that could change your life forever. Stick with me to the end, because I'll reveal how you can cash in on this hidden treasure. Trust me, you won't want to miss this. Let's dive in. Back in 1968, the US Mint did something that would leave collectors shaking their heads in disbelief for decades. They created a penny that never got a mint mark. Why does that matter? Well, mint marks, those tiny letters on the coin, tell us where it was made. A mint mark is usually found on the coin's obverse, under the date, either saying D for Denver or S for San Francisco. But the 1968 penny, it didn't have one. And that's where the magic starts. Now, you might be wondering, who cares about a missing letter? It's just a penny. And I get it, you probably have a ton of old pennies laying around the house. But let me tell you, this isn't just any old penny. The 1968 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny is one of the rarest coins in American history. And it's so rare it could be worth up to $2 million. Let that sink in for a second. So, how does a coin with no mint mark end up being worth a fortune? Well, here's where the story gets interesting. The 1968 no-mint mark penny is part of a group of pennies from that year that were accidentally struck without the mint mark. You see, the US Mint in Philadelphia usually didn't put mint marks on pennies. But in this case, there was an oversight and some of these pennies, which were supposed to have the D or S mint mark, slipped through the cracks without any mark at all. Here's the kicker. At the time, nobody really thought much of it. It was just a mistake, right? But years later, collectors and experts realized something extraordinary. These pennies were rare. And when something is rare, it means it's valuable. The law of supply and demand, right? But wait, how valuable, you ask? Well, these 1968 no-mint mark pennies can fetch up to $2 million at auction. Yes, you heard that right. $2 million for a penny. Imagine finding that in your spare change. The excitement, the thrill, and most importantly, the life-changing value of that little coin. So, how do you get your hands on one of these rare 1968 no-mint mark pennies? And if you already have one, how do you turn it into a small fortune? First, check your pennies. I'm serious, go to your coin jar, your change drawer, anywhere you might have a stash of old coins. The 1968 no-mint mark penny could be hiding there. Don't just assume it's a regular penny. This could be your ticket to living a life of financial freedom. But how can you tell if it's worth anything? Here's a quick tip. These pennies can be identified by the absence of a mint mark beneath the date. If your penny doesn't have a D or S, it might be the real deal. But don't just take my word for it. Experts suggest getting your coin authenticated through a professional grading service to make sure you're holding onto a fortune. Now, let me hit you with something important. There's an urgency here. If you have one of these pennies, now is the time to act. The longer you wait, the less likely you are to find a buyer willing to pay top dollar. The market for these rare coins is hot, and the demand is only going to rise as collectors scramble to complete their sets. This is your moment. Seize it. And by the way, do you think you could have $1 million penny just sitting there and not know it? I know it sounds impossible, but it's happened to a lot of people. They didn't even know what they had until the right moment. Kind of like finding a secret treasure in your own home. Huh. But what if you don't find one of these 1968 no-mint mark pennies? Is your dream of finding a life-changing coin over? Not at all. In fact, you might have something else sitting in your collection that's worth just as much or more. You see, the world of rare coins is vast, and there are plenty of other pennies out there that could be worth thousands, even millions of dollars. And I'm about to share with you exactly what to look for next. So don't go anywhere. In the next video, I'm going to reveal 5 other rare pennies that could be hiding in your coin jar right now. These are pennies you'll want to keep an eye out for because they could change your financial future. Stay tuned, because the wealth-building journey isn't over yet. Remember, the world of rare coins is waiting for you. The 1968 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny is just the beginning. So what are you waiting for? Go check your coins, get them appraised, and start living the wealthy lifestyle you've always dreamed of. If you found this video helpful, hit that like button subscribe for more valuable coin tips, and turn on notifications so you never miss out on the chance to make your coin collection work for you. You're sitting at home, rummaging through an old coin jar, and you find a penny. Just a penny. But wait, this isn't any ordinary penny. It's a 1973 Lincoln penny, and it has no mint mark. The shocking truth? This penny could be worth up to $1.9 million. You're probably thinking, no way, I've heard of rare coins, but a penny? Well, hold on to your seats because by the end of this video, you'll understand why this penny might just change your life. You've heard the stories of old coins being worth a small fortune, but the 1973 no mint mark Lincoln penny is a whole new ballgame. So, let's break it down. In 1973, most pennies were made with a mint mark. But for a select few, something went wrong at the mint, creating an error that is now one of the most valuable in coin collecting history. The absence of that small D or S mint mark means this penny is rare. So rare that it can fetch up to $1.9 million at auction. But how did this happen? Well, the 1973 penny was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, where many coins were produced without any mint mark. And those errors are the golden tickets for collectors. But here's the catch. Finding one of these pennies is no easy task. The key is knowing exactly what you're looking for, and that's where this video will give you the tools to turn a simple penny into a small fortune. Are you ready to find out if you have one of these rare coins hiding in your own collection? Now that we know what we're looking for, let's talk about how to find this treasure. It's a needle in a haystack, but if you know what to look for, you might just strike gold. The key here is knowing the difference between a regular 1973 penny and the elusive no mint mark version. Here's the trick. If your 1973 penny doesn't have a mint mark, then it's potentially valuable. Check the reverse side, the side with Lincoln's memorial, just to confirm. But that's not all. There are specific conditions that make your penny even more valuable. A mint state or uncirculated penny can fetch a higher price, while those that are in poor condition will be worth much less. That's the difference between a few dollars and millions. I know what you're thinking. Are we seriously about to make a fortune off a penny? Well, if you're one of the lucky few to find the right one, yes, you are. But don't get too excited just yet. There's still a lot to uncover about this treasure. But here's the truth. Most of us won't just find a $1.9 million penny lying around in our drawers. And that's where many people give up, but you don't have to. Now, let's talk about what's stopping you from making money. Many people believe these rare coins are out of their reach, but they're not. If you find one of these pennies, there's a whole world of collectors who are willing to pay top dollar. These aren't just coin enthusiasts. They are serious investors looking for rare pieces to complete their collections. And trust me, they're willing to pay big bucks to get their hands on a penny like yours. But here's where the cliffhanger comes in. Just because you've found this rare coin doesn't mean you're instantly rich. In fact, selling it correctly is the tricky part. Most people make a fatal mistake when selling coins. They don't know the right market. Are you ready to learn how to sell your 1973 no mint mark Lincoln penny for the highest possible price? Because trust me, there's more to it than just listing it online. What if I told you there are collectors who would pay way more than you think? What if you could sell it for well over $1 million? You'll want to stick around because in the next few minutes, I'll share the secrets to getting the highest price for your rare coins. But time is running out. The longer you wait, the more likely it is someone else will beat you to the punch. So take action now. Go check that coin jar, dig through your old pennies, and see if you have a 1973 no mint mark Lincoln penny. Don't let this opportunity slip through your fingers. Imagine selling a penny for millions of dollars and living the lifestyle you've always dreamed of. It's possible. You just have to know how. Stick around because I'm about to reveal the exact steps you need to take to get top dollar for your coin and how to sell it like a pro. Don't blink because you won't want to miss what comes next. Imagine finding a simple penny worth millions of dollars. Sounds too good to be true? Well, if you're holding a 1978 no mint mark Lincoln penny, that dream could become your reality. What if I told you that this penny could fetch up to $1.8 million? What if it's sitting right under your nose? Stick with me because in just a few minutes your life could change forever. But is your coin really worth that kind of fortune? Let's dive in and find out. The 1978 no mint mark Lincoln penny isn't something you find every day. In fact, most of us wouldn't even think twice about it if it were sitting in a coin jar or worse, tossed into your pocket change. But here's the catch. Only a few of these coins were made without the mint mark, and that tiny detail could be worth up to $1.8 million in today's market. When you look at the coins in your collection, what's the most important thing you're looking for? The year? The condition? The mint mark? Well, the 1978 no mint mark Lincoln penny checks all the right boxes when it comes to rarity and value. So what makes this penny so special? First, let's talk about how it got out there in the first place. This coin wasn't supposed to be released without the mint mark. The US Mint wasn't exactly on their game in 1978, and a small batch of pennies slipped through the cracks. The result? A handful of rare and valuable coins that have sent collectors into a frenzy. Now that you know how rare this coin is, let's talk about the money. The value of a 1978 no mint mark Lincoln penny varies, but it's not uncommon for these coins in mint condition to fetch anywhere from $2,000 to over $1 million in auctions. And some collectors? Well, they'll pay whatever it takes to get their hands on one of these rare pieces. You could be sitting on a gold mine. But don't let the idea of quick cash cloud your judgment. This coin isn't just about selling for a few $1,000s. It's about a potential windfall. Can you picture it? That kind of money could change your life, pay off debt, fund your dreams, and give you the kind of financial freedom you've always desired. And here's the crucial point, you need to know how to sell it for top dollar. The first thing to do when you find one of these coins is don't rush. It's easy to get excited and just throw it online, but the right buyer might not just be sitting around waiting to buy. You want to have this coin graded by a professional. Grading is everything. A mint state coin in pristine condition could fetch up to the maximum value, but a slightly worn coin? It'll be worth less. And here's something you really need to hear. If your coin isn't in perfect shape, don't throw in the towel. Coins with slight wear can still sell for tens of thousands of dollars, but it requires patience and strategy. This is about playing the long game and not letting your excitement cloud your judgment. So, now you've got your hands on this potential fortune. What next? I'll tell you that in just a moment, but first, let me ask you, how long have you been collecting coins? Have you ever come across a coin you thought might be worth something, only to have it end up just being another piece of pocket change? It's a gut-wrenching feeling, isn't it? But with this coin, you don't want to miss the opportunity to get it evaluated correctly. Now, let's talk about how to turn your 1978 no mint mark Lincoln penny into that life-changing cash. First off, don't rush. Take your time. If you're serious about getting the highest possible value, you need to have your coin properly authenticated and graded by a professional grading service. Trust me, this is one of the most important steps. You wouldn't want to risk selling a potential $1 million coin for a few $100s, right? Once it's graded, you have two options. Sell it at auction or find a private buyer. Auctions are where the big money's at, but it can be a bit of a gamble. If you go this route, make sure you understand the auction house's terms and fees. Private buyers are a safer bet, but they'll want to see your coin in top shape before offering you a premium price. Are you ready to take that first step? Imagine what you could do with that kind of money. Retire early, travel the world, or finally live the life you've always dreamed of. It's all possible with the right move at the right time. But before you go, here's the thing. The market for rare coins can shift. If you wait too long, you might miss your chance to cash in when prices are at their peak. It's a market driven by demand, rarity, and condition, and you never know when it will change. Now, take a moment. Look at that coin. Could it be the one worth $1.8 million? Could your life be about to change? The truth is, this is your chance to make something amazing happen. But it all depends on how you play your cards. Will you sell it now, or wait for the perfect buyer to come along? The choice is yours. You're holding a rare treasure in your hand, or maybe you're not. But if you are, the next move is up to you. Will you let it slip through your fingers, or will you take the steps to sell it for a fortune? Don't go anywhere, because in the next video, I'll reveal the one mistake that could cost you millions and how to avoid it. You won't want to miss it. What if I told you a single penny, yes, a penny, could be worth $1.3 million? Sounds impossible, right? Well, that's exactly what we're going to uncover today. Stay tuned. because you might be sitting on a fortune that's just waiting to be discovered. The 1994 Lincoln penny, it's just a penny, right? For most people, it's a piece of copper, thrown into a jar and forgotten. But for the sharp-eyed coin collector or savvy seller, that very penny could be the key to unlocking an unexpected fortune. This coin, which was minted in 1994, has one feature that most people overlook: the absence of a mint mark. You see, pennies from that year were supposed to have a mint mark, indicating which U.S. mint facility produced them. Most of the time, you'll find a D for Denver or a P for Philadelphia. But the 1994 penny with no mint mark is a rare anomaly. Here's where it gets really interesting. These no mint mark pennies are incredibly rare and highly sought after by collectors. There are only a handful of these pennies known to exist, and that's what makes them so valuable. You might not believe it, but some of these coins have been sold for as much as $1.3 million in auctions. Yes, $1.3 million. You heard that right. So, if you have a jar full of pennies at home, it's time to stop just throwing them around like this. You might want to take a closer look, because that next penny could be your ticket to millions. But let's keep going. Now, you might be thinking, how do I know if my 1994 penny is one of the valuable ones? It's a great question, and one that could make the difference between selling a penny for 1 cent or $1 million. First, let's talk about what gives this penny its worth. While regular pennies from 1994 are worth just a cent, the no mint mark version is different. Because only a few of these pennies were made, they are extremely rare, and rarity drives up the price. Collectors are willing to pay top dollar for anything that's both scarce and unique. In fact, many of these pennies have been sold in coin auctions for prices that will make your jaw drop. Some of these coins have even reached over $1 million. So, if you're lucky enough to have one of these in your possession, it's not just a penny. It's a goldmine waiting to be uncovered. Okay, you're probably not going to find a treasure chest full of $1 million pennies in your backyard. But let's get serious. If you've got a 1994 penny, here's how you can figure out if you have the no mint mark version. It's crucial that the penny has the date 1994. If it does, move on to step 2. Check for a mint mark. Flip the coin over and check the reverse side. Most 1994 pennies will have a D or a P mint mark. But if yours has no mint mark at all, then you've potentially found a rare gem. So, what should you do next if you think you have one of these valuable coins? First, don't spend it. Keep it safe and start doing some research. The next step is to get it professionally appraised. You need to know exactly how much it's worth in its current condition. Quick cut to a humorous clip of someone dramatically Googling, "How much is my penny worth?" with exaggerated suspense. You don't need to go down a rabbit hole on the internet trying to figure it out. Trust me, I've been there. It's time to get professional help. Now, once you've confirmed your penny's rarity, the next step is selling it. You might consider sending it to auction, but there are also coin dealers who specialize in these kinds of transactions. If you decide to sell, it's critical that you find a trustworthy expert who can help you negotiate the best price. But before you rush off to check your penny jar, let me ask you this. What if there's more hidden treasure in your collection than you realize? Stay with me, because in just a moment I'm going to reveal how you can take this knowledge and start making serious money with rare pennies. We're about to dive into more rare coins, other pennies worth a small fortune, and how you can turn your coin collection into cash. Don't go anywhere, the best is yet to come. If you've learned something valuable today, give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on future videos where I uncover hidden treasures in your pockets. The more you know, the more you could be earning. Don't wait, your $1 million penny could be just around the corner. Imagine stumbling upon a coin you've had sitting in your drawer for years. You think it's just another penny, but what if I told you it could be worth up to $1.5 million? It might sound like a fantasy, but for some lucky collectors, the 1987 no mint mark Lincoln penny has done just that. Today, we're diving into why this seemingly ordinary penny could change your life. Stay tuned, because by the end of this video, you might just be holding on to a small fortune. Let's start with something we all know: pennies. They're small, they're everywhere, and let's be honest, most of us don't pay much attention to them. But here's the thing. Not all pennies are created equal. Some, like the 1987 no mint mark Lincoln penny, are rare, incredibly valuable, and could make you a fortune. But why is this penny worth so much? The 1987 penny wasn't supposed to be rare. It was part of a standard mintage. But a mistake, an error, changed everything. The 1987 no-mint mark penny was struck without a mint mark, which was an anomaly, as most pennies from this year should have a D mint mark for Denver. So, when a few of these coins slipped through the cracks, they became incredibly valuable. Can you imagine looking through your change and discovering something like this? It's a reality for some coin collectors, and it could be your reality too. But here's the kicker. These rare pennies aren't easy to spot. If you've been tossing old pennies into a jar, you might be overlooking something worth thousands or even millions. How many of us have a jar of coins sitting somewhere, thinking it's not worth much? But remember, this is no ordinary penny. No mint mark. A rare mistake from 1987. And with such a low supply, the demand for this coin is skyrocketing. Now, let's talk numbers. The 1987 no-mint mark penny is worth anywhere from a couple $100s to over $1 million. You heard that right. A penny worth up to $1.5 million. The catch? Finding one in good condition. If you've got one of these pennies in your collection, time is of the essence. These coins are becoming increasingly difficult to find, and collectors are willing to pay top dollar for them. If you've been waiting for the right moment to sell, that moment could be slipping away. Every day, more people discover the value of these coins, and the price keeps climbing. Imagine you've got a rare penny in your hand, but you wait too long to sell it. You could miss the peak value and watch it drop in price. Now, that's a feeling none of us want. The market for rare coins is fast-moving, and it's easy to get left behind if you're not paying attention. Are you ready to cash in on this opportunity before someone else beats you to it? And let's be clear, this isn't just about money. It's about your future. It's about taking something that seems small and insignificant and turning it into a life-changing amount of wealth. What would you do with an extra $1 million? Buy a house? Travel the world? Pay off debt and live stress-free? The possibilities are endless. Wait, hold on. Let me ask you a question. How many of you have old pennies sitting in a jar right now? Be honest. You're probably thinking, nah, they're not worth anything. Well, after hearing about this penny, you might want to double-check. Could it be that your spare change is more valuable than your old TV, your car, or even your savings account? So, let's get into the specifics. What makes the 1987 no-mint mark penny so valuable? It all comes down to rarity and condition. The fewer of these pennies that are out there, the more valuable they become. If you find one in near-perfect condition, you're holding on to a small treasure chest. Now, you might be wondering, how can you tell if you've got one of these rare pennies? It's all in the details. Look closely at the date and the mint mark, or rather, the lack of one. Without that D mint mark, you've got yourself a valuable find. But here's the kicker. Most people don't even know to look for it. That's why the market for these pennies is still growing. You could be sitting on something worth thousands right now, and most people would never even know it. And here's a fun fact. You don't need to be a coin expert to get started. A simple search on a trusted auction site can help you see what these pennies are going for. You could list yours today and start getting offers tomorrow. But don't wait too long. Prices could go up or come crashing down. So what's the takeaway here? Check your spare change. If you find a 1987 no-mint mark Lincoln penny, don't just toss it aside. Take a closer look. You could be holding the key to your financial freedom. What if this penny isn't the only valuable coin you've been overlooking? What if there are more hidden treasures in your collection? If you want to know what other rare pennies could make you millions, you'll have to stick around. In my next video, I'll show you even more coins that could change your life. Trust me, you won't want to miss it.